Mr. Frodo, come quickly! It's some more unoriginal Hearts of Iron 4 content! Yeah! No one's excited for that. And oh man, we've got another exciting mod that's just come out on the workshop, which is pretty surprising as I assume most of the big mods that have come out recently would have waited until the new update because all of these mods are going to be broken in 2 fucking weeks. But alas, this one is another great, complete overhaul of Hearts of Iron 4, this time in a new universe, a new fun universe, but not as fun as Fallout in my opinion.
Also, if you missed it, I did a Fallout New Vegas video. I'll leave it in the description down below if you really don't want to watch this boring shit.
Boom, that's right, it's a Lord of the Rings mod, a mod I wouldn't really expect to be implemented into the Paradox game Hearts of Iron 4, but hey, we're here somehow, and this is a bit coincidental because I also did a mod review on an E4 mod about 2 years ago, just like the Fallout mod on Lord of the Rings, so it goes to show that things really come full circle and there are only so many limited ideas for this channel. Also look, the Northern Wastes are apparently Nepal. I remember those guys from Lord of the Rings. But you know, one thing I don't really remember from Lord of the Rings is this big old chunk of absolute AIDS that is the rest of the nations from the base game. I'm not entirely sure what the mod developer was really expecting. I have never seen anything like this before. But hey, what a start to the fucking mod. I'm sure the rest of this is gonna be just as fucking exciting. So I feel like there's only one real country I can play as, and no, it's not Yunnan, it is in fact Mordor, the real loser of the Lord of the Rings universe, and I feel like we could go back and make Mordor great again, because, they're also apparently fascist. Sauron was a fascist. So starting off in the vapid wasteland that is Mordor, in our big mountainous fiery hellhole that is the country, we start off with a decent army, but I don't particularly remember the Lord of the Rings universe having motorized divisions, but then again, they didn't really show what Mordor had to offer other than those big orcs having a bit coming out the fucking weird goo thing. But where the mod doesn't have an in-depth technology system that's been remade, it does have a somewhat decent focus tree, which is pretty decent, albeit not that in-depth. And we really need to go down the fate of Mordor immediately, because, you know, we are currently just an eyeball. Where the fuck is our body gone? It's always so nice when the mod developers give you a little brief history of what exactly the Lord of the Rings universe is all about if you're not familiar with the story. And of course, if you're not familiar with the story, do you actually fucking live in Mordor? Because how the fuck do you not know about Lord of the Rings? Oh, we actually get to see what happened to the Dwarves of Moria. That's pretty cool. Apparently they've even got a somewhat good focus tree. That's pretty decent, but I remember they lost to the Orcs, who are communist orcs. What? Yeah, honestly, now I'm just thinking of the film series Paranormal Activity and how better it would be if they were haunted by a dwarf man with hairy feet. Now, whilst it is extremely tempting to resist Sauron and seize the means of production and also get to put meat back on the menu, I'm unfortunately just gonna have to not turn, you know, Mordor into some weird communist haven, and I'm gonna go down the boring canon route. God, it kind of takes away from the magic when they actually diagnose King Rohan with hyperthyroidism. It kind of takes away the magic of him being cursed and shit, but yeah, you know, it's just not the same when you realize he's actually just got, you know, a debilitating medical issue. Oh shit, the Fellowship of the Ring. Well, that doesn't sound like it's going to be too great for Mordor, especially with this badly photoshopped in dwarf who I have no idea who that actually is. Now I'm thinking about it. In fact, who the fuck is that? Now, whilst we could go down swift victory and go to war straight away, I'm going to go down the long game instead, because I think it's more in turn with what Mordor and what Sauron specifically did, whereas they could have just fixed the issue immediately. They faffed around doing fuck all and being orcs. Now, I'm pretty sure that didn't happen in the books. Maybe in the films they killed Elrond off, but I'm pretty sure he was a key character. Oh, those pesky fucking dwarfs are always up to no fucking... I bet it was Gimli. I bet Gimli fucking did it, because Gimli's a proper lad. oh shit, the people with the Elefantes have gone to war with themselves, mostly because Mordor tried to conscript them into our weird fucking alliance led by dwarves and people who ride on weird bat things and look for rings at where they're not supposed to be looking for rings. You know, it sounds like a fun time. Why didn't you just want to join? Come on, why have you got to make this difficult for me? Now, I'm pretty sure Red Gondor, aka the United Syndicates of Gondor, the communist dictatorship, isn't canon. Well, I need to pull my thumb out of my orc ass at some point and go ahead and invade the Eastlands. Not entirely sure why I'd do that, but free land, I suppose, and more people to hunt for the ring. Which, honestly, I don't think I need the ring considering I'm already having this much power. Surprisingly not that difficult when you have aeroplanes, tanks, and modern equipment to absolutely storm over the enemy with, I feel like this mod isn't following any sort of canon. Well, since we're no longer following the canon route of Lord of the Rings, we might as well go ahead and invade Gondor, or as you know, the communist Red Gondor. What the fuck is this mod? Can I just say that? I just don't understand what the fuck is going on. Ah yes, the famous time Mordor invaded the communist Gondorians, who then fled to a small island off the coast of their fucking land. I don't even know what that island is. Is that island in the books? I don't know. I literally know nothing. My image of Lord of the Ring has been shattered. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that Sauron would really have a problem with communists, because he kind of just has a problem with everyone, but that kind of makes sense if you think about it. He had his little finger cut off, which had his ring on, he lost that, and then his body just fucking blew up. Then, like, however many years later, he's just a floating fiery eyeball. You'd be pretty pissed off too. So the only reason I'm even bothering to invade this country is because it's led by this guy who is Legolas's dad, but more importantly, he starred in the fucking bastardization of the Hobbit trilogy. And I need to take out my anger some way. So I really should have been paying attention to the fact that this might have happened, but at the same time I feel like I probably didn't even have a choice in the matter. But hey, Sauron's dead. Well, he wasn't really ever alive, he was just a big fucking eyeball, and we'll just elect a leader of our own, I suppose. There's no way we could get anyone worse than Sauron, that's for sure. After the dark oppressor Sauron, we need a strong unifying force to lead Mordor, and only one man exists! Fu Lieng! I'm sorry, but... Who the fuck? Is this Sauron's accountant? Well, we didn't really have much of a choice after Sauron's death. There wasn't many people with somewhat of a brain to take over, and apparently Rohan's also a weird dictatorship, so we'll just keep invading people, I suppose. So the Ents want to join my faction. Now, of all things to happen so far, I feel like this just... nothing makes sense. We're not entirely sure why we're invading people with our orc tanks and orc infantry divisions anymore, but we're gonna keep doing it because that's what Sauron would have wanted. At least that's what his accountant keeps telling us. Oh, and we'll be getting quite a bit of revenge on little Hobbiton over here for goddamn destroying my ring. You blow up my ring, I drop a thermonuclear device on Hobbiton, you motherfuckers. Okay, I'm pretty sure this happened. This is definitely canon. I specifically remember when Sauron died, came back in the form of his accountant, and dropped a nuclear weapon on the Shire. Oh god, how could I fucking forget that? That was one of the biggest things to happen in the film. That was like the #1 thing to happen. What is this fucking mod? Well, that was the Lord of the Rings mod. Feel like it needs a little bit more work, that's all I'm gonna say. Sauron's accountant turned out to be more of a ruthless bastard than Sauron, who even managed to puppet the Shire, where we can drop nuclear bombs on them anytime we fucking want to our leisure. Because you blew up my fucking ring, the coolest thing about Mordor, and you just destroyed it. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like-a-reno, hit the subscribe-a-reno button, and leave me a suggestion down below of any other mods you'd like to see me play. Of course, please don't recommend the Lord of the Rings mod anymore to me, because as we've just seen, kinda needs a little bit more fucking work. Just a tiny smidgen of fucking work and effort put into it.